I'd like to welcome everyone to the Mays Borough Council meeting. Please rise for the pledge of allegiance.
Way to go, boy. Should just take the one. There's a flag on his computer. Yeah. All right.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, for the record, Councilman Balliet and Councilman Dufresne will not be here this evening, and also our borough manager. Oh, he is here now. All right, he's joining us via Zoom. We'll start with personal appeals part 1. If anyone has a personal appeal, please state your name and what your appeal is. You have 5 minutes.
Okay, I am Thomas Real, I live at 504 South 6th Street. My appeal is to ask people that are present here. I do not know if we have a borough ordinance about tractor trailers parking on regular streets. We've been having a problem at 200 block of South 6th Street with tractor trailers parking on the road right across the street from Mark's Tool Service.
Okay.
I mean, they're trailers and they're hooked up to the pickup trucks that have like a fifth wheel. This just started like about a month ago. I have no idea why it is, but with the buses coming down from St. Anne's and trying to go up, it's causing sort of a bottleneck right there. I don't know if we're allowed to have tractor trailers on our parks.
So we had issues with that many years ago. We addressed it, and Madam Mayor, maybe you can refresh our
They're
memories.
banned.
Huh?
We have the ordinance that they're not permitted to be parked on
In the
rural
borough.
streets.
Yeah, I knew it was an issue down by the library for the longest time, and I knew we addressed it, but I didn't know how far.
The pickup truck itself is licensed for Indiana. Trailer is licensed for Pennsylvania, and on the side of the window of the pickup truck, it has TSG Auto Service. I don't know who they are or where they came from. But I have pictures of the trailers and I have pictures of their license plates, if that's gonna be of any help, or if you would just wanna have.
I'll just talk to the chief about it tomorrow morning.
Okay.
Are they there every day? A
Yes,
certain
yes,
time of
yesterday we
day?
had a full big load on this trailer and it was gone for a couple hours today, and I just came to the meeting now and there's another full load of big wooden crates on the trailer right now.
And what's the exact address?
It's right across the street from Mark's Pool Service, which is 202 South 6th Street.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, is there anybody online that would like to make a public appeal? Maybe Jean. We'll unmute our virtual guests, and if you have a personal appeal, just state your name and what your appeal is. Now would be the time.
I'm good.
Okay, thank you.
Me too, thank you.
Thank you. That leads us to community minute. Anybody have a community minute to bring forward?
Actually, it was just a comment. You were and Madam Mayor and Terry, we were at the shelter house last evening for their, I guess, showcase of the property, and they've done a very good job up there. And really, it's a gem for our community, and it was a privilege to be able to go in and see things and learn a lot.
I enjoyed it because you can see the excitement in their face. They really love what they do there, and it's been a while since I've been there, and it was really neat to see and learn. Every time you go there, you learn a little bit more about our town and the history. So it was just fun. So yes, I was glad they invited us.
Encourage everyone to stop by and see it, and or maybe donate to help their cause.
All right, anybody else with the community minute? Hearing none, we have no special presentations. We have the September 19th, 2022 meeting minutes to approve. Does somebody want to make a motion to approve the meeting minutes? Councilwoman Baumgartner, seconded by Councilman Anders. Any corrections or additions? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed? There are 5 ayes. Did you say aye? Okay.
I couldn't make a motion because I wasn't here.
I understand. We have no decisions on bids. Under communications, we received a letter of resignation from Alan Sylvester from the Ems Arts Commission. He is getting a little busier, but now he wants to focus more on the Entertainment Commission, Recreation and Entertainment Commission. So we appreciate what he's done with the summer concert series and the concerts on the Friday nights. And that allows him more time to focus on there. So we can send him a thank you for, well, he has one more thing to do, the Halloween Film Festival. He is involved with that and will follow through with that. Sips and Stems Borough event request. Now, we received an event for that, event request for that, but when I read the event request, it had the hours, but I don't see a date on it. Can somebody fill me in on this? Does anybody know? It says 9 to 12:30, and then it says event time 10 to 12, but where it says date, there's no date included.
The date she requested was October 22nd.
But that date is the Bethesda
Correct.
event, so just reach out to them, they're supposed to be picking an alternative date. And getting back to us, so we're waiting, and just wrote a little note in here,
Well, I did read that. I did read the note,
so.
but it
we're
only
waiting-
confused me more.
No, we're waiting on them to resubmit a date.
So we're just on pause right now until we get more info.
Just one quick question on this. I noticed they're gonna have alcohol on the triangle. If I cannot have an auxiliary officer there, which is $25 an hour, I will schedule a full-time officer and the cost is gonna go sky high. So you have to let me know whether or not you want an actual officer there when we have
Do we know-
alcohol on the triangle.
Madam Mayor, they've done this in the past. Do we know what they used, if they used any?
They
I
didn't-
I don't
They
know.
didn't have alcohol.
The estimate says
Okay.
50 people, and aren't they going from store to
They
store?
do, they go to store, and then she's at the.
Are they drinking at the stores or
So
in the
they're,
triangle?
they're planning, from what I understand, to have them, a kiosk for the attendees.
So one location for the alcohol and then they go to the individual
That's how it was
stores.
explained to me.
They
But
could,
if, Sarah, are you speaking to them? Are they coming back to you or with?
They were speaking with Jess about a date, so she was emailing back and forth with them about the date, so I don't know that, as of today, I haven't heard anything.
and they couldn't actually do individual service to each store. They need a separate permit for each one. They have to have one centralized location.
So that
for
makes
special
sense.
Operations permit.
So if we could just clarify where the alcohol is actually gonna be, and you have to let me know if you want a full-time officer there or an auxiliary officer, and I'll try. That's all
Yeah,
I-
so council, if I may, our policy has always been, if they are serving it on our property, we are to have a police officer, and if we can't supply an auxiliary officer, they will have to pay for a full-time officer, otherwise they don't serve alcohol on our property. That's been policy since before I was here.
So our alternative would be to serve it on one of the business's properties with proper insurance. Would that be correct?
Yeah. Absolutely.
So they do have an alternative if we don't get an auxiliary police officer. Okay, so who's gonna notify them of this?
At Snow Blast, they all have, all the slow serve wine, or they're not purchasing that.
Okay.
So they don't need to have, it's on their premise. So it's the same kind of alternative.
So who will follow up on this?
Yes, I'll follow.
All right, thank you. And we still don't have a date, so we need that info anyhow. This will come back. Do we need to go through committee or we just need a date and then follow through?
Well, so if you guys are gonna approve alcohol on your property, you need to vote on it.
Right now? I mean, are they
Well,
talking?
yeah, whenever, they want to have their event in October, right?
Okay,
So it is October, I think.
it is third.
Yeah, so you're probably gonna, I mean, you can wait 2 weeks, but that's gonna hold it, that's pretty tight to their event date.
To allow the event contingent upon having a auxiliary police officer for the 2 hours of the event.
Well, I would simply say that they would have to pay for police coverage, just simply police coverage.
All right, police coverage. Councilman Hart, seconded by Councilwoman McManaman. Any discussion, questions? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed? There are 5 ayes. All right, we also received from Richard Hunt II a volunteer application for the zoning hearing board. That interview, so that has to happen, yes. So that will go for the interview process. We have Georgine Snyder, a volunteer application for the Board of Health. I did see that we have, they have been interviewed and recommended, no?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh,
Sorry. Mr.
No,
President,
I saw you shaking your head. No,
I'm so sorry.
but I thought I read earlier that it said, that the, committee interviewed her and recommended her for the, Board of Health. And, Chad is chairman of that committee. Would somebody in lieu of Chad like to present this?
Well, I think it is on their agenda under the committee report.
All right, let's just do it then. There's no borough engineers report, solicitor's report.
No report.
Thank you. Unfinished business part one, we have ordinance 1231 and 1232. Their first reading was September 6th for both of them. Second reading is tonight. Ordinance 1231 is an ordinance of the Borough of Emmaus, Lehigh County, Pennsylvania, amending chapter 1, adding subsection 302 of the Code of Ordinances, amending the appointed secretary of the Planning Commission. Would somebody like to make a motion to approve ordinance 1231? Councilman Hart, seconded by Councilman Anders. Any questions on this? It's a roll call vote. Councilman Hart.
Aye.
Councilman Layberg, aye. Councilman Anders.
Aye.
Councilwoman Baumgartner.
Aye.
Councilwoman McManaman.
Aye.
There are 5 ayes. Ordinance passes. We have 1232, an ordinance amending chapter 15 subsection 404.1 of the codified ordinances, amending the school bus zone for 7 Generations Charter School. This is also a second reading. Would somebody like to make a motion to approve ordinance 1232? Councilman Hart, seconded by Councilwoman McManaman. Any discussions on this? Questions? Roll call vote. Councilman Hart.
Aye.
Councilman Layberg. Aye. Councilman Anders.
Aye.
Councilwoman Baumgartner.
Aye.
Councilwoman McManaman.
Aye.
There are 5 ayes. Motion 1232 or ordinance 1232 passes. We have no new business. Unfinished business part 2. We have nothing. Anybody have anything to bring forward that is not on the agenda tonight? That leads us to the mayor's report.
Thank you.
I didn't skip you tonight.
How about that? I would have smacked you. You have proclamation 551, which is for Fire Prevention Week, which is October 9th to the 15th. And since it is cold in here this evening, I'm not going to read it. You'll hear my teeth chatter. So this is the 2022 Fire Prevention Week theme is Fire Won't Wait, Plan Your Escape. Effectively serves to remind us it's important to have a home fire escape plan. And also in your binders, you have proclamation 552, and that is for trick or treat, which will be Friday, October 28th, 2022, from 6 to 8 p.m. If you are going to participate, please have your porch lights on, and we will be serving hot dogs at the police department, along with candy. So, want to come out, grab a hot dog, grab a treat, we'll be there.
John Grilling.
No, John is not.
I'd be happy to.
It's a lot colder, so it might be nice.
All right.
Other than that, progress.
Thank you. So that leads us to committee reports. We have Public Works Committee, Chairman Anders.
Yes, thank you, Mr. President. We met on September 21st. We have one item for official action, and that is the terrace request by the Canals Homestead. This is basically a back patio that they're requesting to build. There's some photos in there. It really looks very nice, and the company that they have is a local company that they wish to have complete the work. Beyond that, I'd like to make the motion to approve the terrace addition patio.
Canals Homestead. Motion by Councilman Anders, second. Councilwoman McManaman. Yeah, I'm on the committee too. I asked a few questions about, issues with water there or anything, and he felt there was no issues and there's a good base there, and he just described how he builds it. So I was satisfied with the answer. This guy sounds like a top-notch professional. So any other questions? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed? There are 5 ayes.
The rest of our meeting minutes are located in your iPads. And with that, I'll report progress.
Thank you. Health, Sanitation, and Codes Committee, Chairman Balliet is not here. Terry, would you like to do? Yeah, I was gonna have you do the budget.
We have an item for official action. Christian Dydra applied for the Emmaus Planning Commission seat that is available. We all were very impressed with Christian. He is a Spillman farmer architect. He understands the role of the commission, and I think we were all very excited to have him on the commission. His term is will expire April 1st of 2026. So I'd like to.
So moved. Motion by Councilwoman McManaman. Is there a second? Councilman Hart. Any discussion?
Outstanding candidate.
Yeah, it sounds like his credentials is something, that's what we're looking for, so
Yes.
like we're lucky. As you know, we don't always get that, so all those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed, there are 5 ayes.
Oh,
I'll do that, sure. We had a candidate finally for the Board of Health, Georgine Snyder. She is a retired nurse who brings to the table the right stuff as far as a background in occupational medicine, et cetera, and expressed an interest. I was impressed by her in our interview, and I would make a motion to appoint her to the Board of Health.
Motion by Councilman Hart. Is there a second? Councilwoman McManaman. Questions? I did read in the minutes that there was question about being a resident, not being a resident. Did we clarify that? Am I correct on this one?
Yeah, there's nothing in borough code or ordinance that stipulates not a member of the Board of Health needs to be.
Jason, are you aware of anything?
I haven't heard anything. I can look into the answer if you want to wait.
No, I mean, if they read the ordinance, it's pretty simple.
No, so
Rob Hammond went to the ordinance while we were at the meeting.
Okay,
It said it was.
I mean, if
so
you
we're
want-
satisfied then.
And I was saying, if you just want to make it subject to approval of that, Shane was going to say something.
Okay, Shane.
yeah, no, I was just gonna say that I checked both the Pennsylvania Borough Code, the Department of Health rules, and our Emmaus Borough Code, and there is no residency requirement in any of them relating to the Board of Health. Matter of fact, all of those ordinances and all those laws are pretty loose, to be honest with you.
All right, that satisfies me. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed? There are 5 ayes.
Ordinance 1231 was already approved above, and concerning the appointment as Secretary of the Planning Commission. Meeting notes are included in the packet, and our next meeting is scheduled for October 26th at 4:45 p.m. And with that, I'll report progress.
Thank you. Parks and Recreation Committee, Chairwoman Baumgartner.
Thank you, Mr. President. We have no item for official action. Our next meeting actually will be canceled, our November meeting, because of budget workshop. So our next meeting after that will be December, I think it's the 6th. I believe.
You do meet tomorrow, right?
Tomorrow, but November will be canceled.
Okay. Just a heads up for
You
you.
said next, that's why I was like,
Sorry.
what?
I know. I agree. All right. Other than that, progress.
Thank you. Public Safety Committee, Chairman Hart.
Thank you again. 2 issues for your consideration that will be turned into the proposed ordinances. And they deal with the parking restrictions at South 7th and Broad Street. And that had to do with the stop signs being clipped by tractor trailers very often. And after the chief of police and our director of Lawrence Public Works, thank you, looked at the area and decided that if we had 3 car lengths of no parking on the corner there, then that would be a satisfactory solution to the problem. So the recommendation was to remove parking spaces, 3 car lengths at the intersection of 7th and Broad Streets. There's a diagram in your packet.
Thank you. Motion by Councilman Hart. Is there a second? Councilwoman McManaman. Any questions or discussion? All those in favor say aye. Are we going to put signs up or just paint the curb yellow? I mean, can we say, Shane, maybe that's an answer you can answer it. Can we just paint the curb yellow or do we have to spend the money on the signs?
Yeah, so we can probably paint the curb yellow, but I'll talk to the chief of police.
So,
As it's really, it's kind of really up to them as to what's enforceable and what's not.
all right. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed? There are 5 ayes.
The next issue had to do with bus parking lining up at Jefferson, at the Jefferson School. Independently of the borough, they moved the bus pickup from North Street to Elm Street, and then approached us regarding signage for no parking. We did discuss it, and the police chief was out looking at the proposal, what they already enacted, and agreed that that was the best way to address bus pickup for Jefferson. However, we are going to request that East Penn School District pick up the costs for the signage for that area. So the motion is to approve the new area for bus pickup. There's no parking during the hours listed, and that East Penn School District pay for the signage.
Motion by Councilman Hart. Is there a second? Councilwoman McManaman. Any more questions? Councilman Sanders?
Just one, just curious, as far as snow removal and that, does that affect, and is that anything for emergency snow lanes, like around the school or anything? I'm not sure what's over there. And I was just wondering how that, how that would be affected there, if it is.
I guess I would ask what kind of emergency snow lanes are there now.
I don't know
think
if the North had that over there or not. I'm not sure. That's where it just kind of came to mind.
I don't think that's a,
Not there, no.
I don't think that's an emergency route. So,
Okay. Okay, thank you.
all right. Any other questions? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed? There are 5 ayes.
The last ordinance, 1232, you already approved, but I would add that there was an additional discussion had concerning bus pickup at 7 generations. They have increased student population, and as a result, the pickup both by buses and parent pickups has become a larger issue to the point where it was blocking entrance to public works areas on the borough on Clyde's Lane. After a great deal of discussion with both 7 generations and the principal, we came up with a recommendation to utilize our Klein's Lane soccer field parking that's presently used by, I always forget the name of the landscaper that uses that area. But they use that during the time of student pickup. So it's not for your vote, but I just wanted to let you know what was agreed upon in addition to what you approved as far as both sides of the street.
Thank you.
The meeting notes from the September 29th meeting are included, and our next meeting is October 27th at 9 a.m. I report progress.
Thank you. General Administration Committee, I have nothing to report or any action to be taken. Our next meeting is this Thursday, October 6th at 9 a.m. via Zoom. Budget and Finance Committee Chairman Dufresne is not here in lieu of, or in his absence. Would you like to?
Sure. Thank you. The bill list is included in your packet. Resolution 2022-36 includes a recommendation for payment of the bill list, which lists at $725,123.94. Payroll 182,132.32, and payroll taxes of $59,527, for a total of $966,785.31. The significant expenses for the month were town hall construction at $385,000 and central station construction at $190,000. Unless there are any further questions, I I'd offer the resolution for your approval.
The motion to approve resolution 2022-36, the bill list. Is there a second? Councilman Anders, any questions on the bill list? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed? There are 5 ayes.
As noted, the significant revenue and expenses are included in your packet. Our next meeting is Thursday, October 6th at 11 a.m. for progress.
Thank you. Community Relations Planning and Development Committee, Chairwoman McManaman.
Thank you, Mr. President. Nothing for official action this evening, but I would like to also say thank you to the representatives, council here and Sarah, who were at the shelter house. I had gotten several calls today from members of the board who were very happy and pleased with the turnout. They are very proud of what they're doing, and we will be hearing a lot of different projects that they're working on. So I appreciate that. Our next meeting is Monday, October 10th at 4:30, and unless there are questions, I report progress.
Thank you. You have various boards and commission meeting minutes, 3 sets at least, and that leads us to personal appeals part 2. Is there anyone that has a personal appeal?
I don't know when I should.
Please, for the record, state your name again.
Oh, I'm sorry, Thomas Rue at 504 South 6th Street. I didn't know exactly when I should speak up. The last time I was here, I brought up problems at the St. Anne's parking problems. Police officer was there on September 22nd. I want to thank the council for prompt action. If there's going to be a result, I'll let it hear in meetings. Do you let anybody know what's going on?
I think that's going to be taken care of in the Public Safety Committee, and I don't know where they're at on that.
All right. Also, I just off the cuff here, my neighbor, who was also involved in me coming here, found the article from 1992 with Mayor Bassett at the time, and St. Anne's resolutions were also listed here. I don't know if there would be any help to you to have this, or
Maybe you can copy that. You don't want to give the original, do you?
I don't need your original. My neighbor gave it to me to give to you guys. If you want it, you can have it.
Sure.
Okay.
Thank you.
Sure.
All right, we'll mute our virtual guests, and we see Jean wants to speak.
Am I live?
Hi, Jean, just
Can
name
you
it.
hear me?
Yeah, just state your address, Jean.
Yeah, mine's Gene Clock, 344-7 Daylily Drive in Emmaus. Just a couple of things. I want to give you an update on the Harvest Festival. We now have 40 vendors. It looks like it's going to be a spectacular event. And the other thing I would like to do is invite you, if you would, to be at Harvest Fest on the October 22nd to do a ribbon cutting for the patio. I think it'd be wonderful if you all could be there. And then last of all, I had submitted a request about the tree limb problem at the homestead. And I would ask that you approve that, please.
Yeah, so the tree limb request, that's you guys are paying to do the trimming, right, Gene?
I hadn't planned on it. We're spending about $500,000 on your product and on your property in the next few months. So,
Yeah, so I'll tell you that it's not gonna get approved then,
okay.
because the borough doesn't have $9,000 to $10,000 to spend on trimming trees around that property right now.
Okay, thank you. I think that's it for now. Thank you. And thank you for your support. I deeply appreciate it.
Thank you, Gene. Anybody else, virtual guest, that has an appeal? All right, hearing none. That leaves us to Borough Manager's report.
Yeah, so obviously, we have an executive session coming up here that we'll get more into. But the budget, the preliminary budget will be submitted to Borough Council at the next council meeting. Sarah and I have been working diligently on that. There's a lot to sift through, as I've indicated each of you in your committee meetings. The other thing is the website. We were able to do a deep dive into the website and found 6 different worms that were inserted into the website, which were causing them to link to other places. We were able to get them out. However, in the meantime, in doing that, definitely knocked off some other stuff. I know we're having problems with accuracy. It seems like our calendar went crazy, and some other things. So we are working through that as well. Other than that, I will report progress unless you have some questions.
Anybody have a question? All right, hearing none, president's business, I have nothing, but we will have an executive session to update us on contract negotiations with no action to be taken. And we'll go into executive session at 7:32, and we'll allow the press, if they have any questions, we'll let them ask questions for executive session.
Okay.
All right, we're coming out of executive session at 8:03. Is there a motion to adjourn? Councilman Hart, seconded by Councilman Sanders. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed? There are 5 ayes. Meeting adjourned at 8:03.
So, hey, John, I apologize.